All right, guys, we're going to start here with number 9. So it asks how many times larger is the volume of a cylinder if the height is doubled, okay? The height doubled. Doubled always means, growing by, multiplying by 2. So for this, we have to figure out what the volume of a cylinder is. What's that formula? So volume equals pi r squared times height. So that's the volume formula, pi r squared times height. So for this one, they're saying we have two different variables. So we have two different variables here. One is the radius. So one is the radius, and then one is the height. The other one is the height, okay? So two different variables, so two different things that can change and impact the volume of that cylinder. However, the radius is staying the same. The radius is not changing. The height is doubling. So this is where it told us to. These are not similar. We're going to choose some test values and calculate the old and new volume formulas. So for this one, anytime they tell you that the height is doubled, or like number 10, it says tripled, or if they said multiplied by some number, okay, meaning that it's getting bigger, this is what you want to do. Anytime you see doubled, tripled, quadrupled, whatever it may be, multiplied by 5, you always want to start out and make your variables 1, okay? That's the simplest way to do this, okay? So we have two separate variables here, radius and height. The easiest way to do this, and this is why I said you test values, the easiest way to do this, make them 1, okay? If we make them 1, we're going to calculate the volume of this cylinder, okay? Super simple. All right, volume equals pi times 1 squared times 1. All right, when we do that, we just get pi. That's going to be the volume of that cylinder. Now, what we do, because we're looking for the change when the height is doubled. So all we're doing is we have this height here, which is 1. We are going to go over here, and we are going to double that. So we're going to multiply by 2. When we multiply by 2, it's just the height is going to be 2. Radius does not change, okay? So all the other variables stay the same. The only one that they tell us is changing gets changed. So radius is still 1. So now we just put this all in a formula and calculate the volume. So volume equals pi times 1 squared times 2. When we do this, we're just left with 2 pi, okay? So for this, it's going to be 2 pi. So anytime you're doing these, guys, and you're looking at something that is going to be doubled or gets bigger, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to take this 2 pi. We're going to put it on top. We're going to divide it by the smaller one, okay? So we're going to divide it by the smaller one. So basically, a good rule of thumb is take your bigger value, put it on top, all right, and put your smaller value on the bottom. That's just a good rule of thumb right there. That's how we're going to get through these. So for this one, we do 2 pi divided by pi. This part right here that we just did, that is where we are comparing our answers, okay? Like I said, you're just going to create a simplified fraction, all right? Basically a ratio between the two cylinders, okay? Like I said, put the big number on top, the smaller number on the bottom. When you do this, the pi's are going to cancel and you're just left with 2. So how many times larger is the volume of a cylinder as the height is doubled? 2 times larger. That's all you have to do. So, guys, we'll continue on. It looks like this video is going to end, so we'll continue on in the next video.